Just a second. Yeah, can everybody see the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. One second, sorry.
Srishti can't hear you.
Srishti,
Hello, can
you're
you hear me?
muted. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. My name is Srishti and I'm 14 years old. I've been a part of the CoVersity, so I'm a part of the writing cohort as of now. I've been a part of the CoVersity since 2022, and my other interests are gymnastics, baking, and rock climbing. I also run a business called Srishti Bakes. So apart from the writers cohort, I also do baking as my passion. And I've been a part of Aarohi X for a long time. Yeah. So what we'll be seeing today is these are all the things we'll be seeing. So how did I first get to know about the CoVersity? How the concept was introduced to me, and what exactly I do in the CoVersity in the writers cohort. A few things about what we all do as together as different cohorts joined together. Also, what we do not separately writers cohort. We'll be talking about that, and a bit about my writing portfolio. So first, how did I get to know about the CoVersity? So I joined Aarohi X. I think at the time of lockdown, we knew about Aarohi earlier, but then I didn't go to the campus. So I joined online and I got to know more about like clubs and different things like to support my interests. And then I wanted to get deeper into writing at that time because I was very interested. I used to read a lot. I used to read a lot of books. So I wrote short stories, novels, articles, etc. And then I got introduced to the concept of cohorts, and I found it very attractive because I wanted a lot of like friends who were doing the same thing as me, who were into the same thing as me, so that I could connect with them better and yeah, share my thoughts and everything with them easier. Because having a peer group, you get lots of feedback and it's very easy for you to understand things. So if you're having issues with something, they can help you understand it better. And I also wanted to take writing as my profession, a career in my future. So I joined the writing cohort. So what exactly do we do in the cohort? We do lots of things. We do courses, we do projects, we do internships, competitions, analysis. So these may be for the writing cohort. They might be different cohort to cohort, but this is what we do in the writing cohort. So far, I've done courses on Udemy online. So whatever, suppose I'm writing a novel, whatever aspect of the novel which I really want to get into deeper, like character writing, I can do it with my peer group. I can select a course in Udemy and finish it together. We've also taken up a lot of projects to so that it's not everything is not purely theoretical. We also get to apply our knowledge in real life. So we have done lots of projects. For example, we published two magazines called Globetrotter. In that, we did lots of like article writing, story writing, everything a magazine contains. But we had a team of 2 to 3 people. In that, we explore a lot of formatting, designing. We had to do a lot of research on how to do the magazine cover page, for example. And yeah, so we made a short story compilation. That was we chose a sentence as a common theme, And we all wrote short stories together with it, and we made it into a proper book with like a cover page and everything. It's yet to be published though. And I've recently taken up a novel project where I wanted to create a full novel with like a storyline, characters, world building, etc. So that was basically to put all my writing knowledge into use in one huge project. That'll probably take a long time to get completed though. Yeah. About internships, I've not yet done any internships, but I would like to do them. I have applied for a few internships, but the results have yet to come, so I'm still actively looking out for it. We have done one competition. So in the competition was like a national level writing competition. I got to know about the opportunity from one of the cohort members, which is another way the cohort's very useful. You get a lot of opportunities. You get to know a lot of new things you can do with your passion to make it into a career. So we had to submit stories based on specific themes by a short deadline, and that was very useful because as far as I did in the writing cohort, I didn't have any deadlines, so I sort of went at my own pace. So this one was very fresh for me. And of course, if you want to write, you need to read a lot of books so you understand the writing style. So we analyzed several books and we wrote reviews and then we looked at the writing style, etc. So one of the things we did, not specific to writers cohort, so we all met up in the campus together, all the cohorts together, filmmaking, designing, and writing. So in the campus, we had kind of like a boot camp, but for a shorter period. So we had lots of different things like future planning sessions. And then at the end of the day, we had reflection circles. And the best part of it was working together as a cohort because we tend to work separately. So it was good to see them in real life instead of looking at them through the computer all the time. So in the future planning sessions, this was very useful for me because I got a lot of clarity on what exactly I could do to make my career um, like clarity. So we set goals. We set goals like what do I want to achieve by like 1 year or 1 month from now. And then we made long term and short term plans. So we put the goals into actions. We wrote steps for each of them. And then we research career options in our areas of passion. So, for example, if you take writing itself, there are so many different careers you can make with writing because it's such a diverse career option. So, you can become a story writer, you can become a blogger, you can intern at a magazine and write articles. So, we decided exactly what we wanted to do and also to effectively plan out our day. So we can't just say I want to do writing. You need to be able to know what exactly you want to do in a day to make it effective. So we learned different ways to plan and how exactly it works for each of us because it's different for each person. And this was all at the starting of the day. At the end of the day, we had reflection circles where this was conducted by Asaviri. We looked into our emotions. So like what and all we had done that day, what we could have done better, what went well, what needed a little more refinement, and all of that. We connected as a group, so like how do I say this? So we got to know each other's problems. Like in the filmmakers cohort, perhaps they might have had problem with one of the film making, and then the writers cohort could help with the script. So we got a lot of problem solving done that way. It was really helpful. And we also work together as a full cohort team, all the cohorts included. So we combined our interests to create activities, and then we had lots of fun activities. For example, at the campus, actually, we had a dance show, and none of us knew how to dance. So that was very interesting. It helped us bond as a team really well. And we also went to a nearby model school and we taught the children there, specific to our cohorts. So some of us taught about story plot lines to them, and others, we all collaborated and we made designs for them to learn. And then uh, this is one of the most important things which I think should be done. It's maintaining a portfolio because a portfolio mainly for me, as I can see, is for two purposes. it provides clarity for others. So it provides clarity for others as in like suppose you want to get an internship somewhere. If you show your portfolio instead of like talking everything out with them, if you show your portfolio, it's a very easy way for them to understand where you are at and what all you have done. And it's also clarity for yourself. So you can see what you have done, how much you have progressed, and you can revisit your work when you need past references like what and all styles of writing have I done, what do I need to do, what do I need to work on. I can show you an example of my portfolio. Yeah, once again. Can you see the portfolio?
Yes, Srishti, we can see it.
Okay.
Carry
Yeah.
on.
So in my portfolio, yeah. So these are the types of writings that I do. So projects are here, reviews, stories, articles. It's very accessible, so you can see all I've done. For the example, if you click articles, you can see examples of articles I've done. So there's also my blog here, so that connects to my blog, and you can see all the articles I've done. It's kind of like a database, but in the portfolio here, I've selected some of my articles and put. For example, if you click this, it will go to an article, and then you can click to go back to the home page. So like that, I have it for stories. And as I said, for book analysis, we had done lots of reviews about all the books that we have read. And projects. So this one was one of our magazines, which we had created together. Yeah. Yeah, that's the main thing about my journey. Thank you.
Before we open the floor for question, Jayashree, from your perspective, would you like to, as a mother, would you like to add how do you see this journey?
Okay. For me, it was like, for Srishti, I have never thought that she would take writing to be that serious of an activity until the cohort started. So till then, she was like really deep into gymnastics and baking always. And she used to spend a lot of time on reading, and she used to write a lot of reviews of every single book that she read. So that has been the writing journey that I had seen personally. But then once the cohort started, I felt that that was like a kind of a trigger for her to expand and dive into writing also. So I saw that CoVersity as one way of expanding yourself to explore something which has been probably there within her, but which she never explored that deep till then. But then after that, probably because of the team to work together, or because there was such an idea that came up that you can have dedicate yourself into and your time into writing, probably that triggered her. So I saw that one more phase of Srishti when she joined the writers cohort. So that was a interesting aspect that I started seeing. And also the Swad prompt. So Swad is basically Ratnesh or somebody used to they still share one prompt every day for writing, and anybody in the community, we write and post it in the Discord channel. And it is like completely non-judgmental. We don't write for appreciation from others. We are not writing to get feedback from others. You just write for the joy of writing. So I saw that was there a lot in Srishti. So every day she would take up the Swat prompt and do it like, it is not like any kind of a homework or something, right? It is, you are doing it just out of joy and out of interest. So that is also one way I think has triggered her interest in writing. So Swad and the CoVersity together had added more fuel into the fire of writing that she might have had earlier as well. So that is what I wanted to add.
Cool, thanks. So, yep, floor is open. If you want to ask Srishti or Jayashree anything more specific to CoVersity, this hour we are focusing on that. So, in terms of either their journey or any aspects of CoVersity, you can ask them. Yeah.
Can I go ahead and ask? So Srishti, could you just broadly say how your typical day functions? How many hours in a day do you focus on this, or like how is a typical day, or does it, because writing is always about inspiration, right? Like, I mean, this is a typical idea that I have, that okay, when I feel like writing, then only I can write. I mean, writing as every day, is it, how do you need prompts? Do you have so many ideas? Do you dream about it? Do you first discuss with your friends and then you begin to write? Since it's such a very highly creative thing, right? And it's also a very emotionally driven activity. Whereas baking, I can understand, but writing is such a very involved activity. So I wanted to know your thoughts about it.
Yeah. So for the past actually few months, I went on a road trip and then I had a few other projects to do. So my writing was temporarily on hold. But before that, my typical day would go like I would start off my work in the morning. I would make a plan, and then I would select the SWOT prompt for the day. I would write a bit. I would write a bit about it. Sometimes I wrote a lot. Sometimes I couldn't write a lot because sometimes the words come. Sometimes they don't. They just like stay stuck. So on those days, what I do is I go on the more technical aspect of writing. Like I said, I had a course going on, so I would watch some of the videos on that. So most of the time, it's not like you suddenly get.
Hey Srishti, I think your voice is not very audible in between. Is it just me, or I don't know?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
breaking.
the voice dropped off a little.
We are better now.
Not really.
Not sure. Give me 1 minute.
Yeah, it was fine, and then last couple of sentences just trailed off. It became low in volume.
I think when you turn to your side, the volume drops off. Just
Better now.
yeah.
Okay, so yeah, till where did you guys know?
You're talking about your typical day, like the
Yeah.
prompt you were telling about the prompt. What's the prompt also, if you could just mention?
Prompt is very varied. We actually had a database of prompts. There's more than I think 200 prompts right now. So yeah, I can't really say what the prompt is specific, but mostly it'll be like wildly imaginary. Sometimes it'll be like article writing. It's very varied. Yeah. So mostly I start off with prompt.
Not very clear.
Srishti, your audio is really low. Can you come over here?
Yeah, I'll come there. Yeah, can you hear me now? Sorry.
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah. So the prompts are highly varied. So sometimes it's like article writing. Sometimes it's like story writing. So yeah, there's a lot of variety in the prompt. So you can't specifically say, but most of the time, if I don't get inspiration for writing a prompt, what I do is I go into the more technical aspect of writing. So I had told about the writing course. I do that, or mostly when you write stories, you need more inspiration. For articles, you don't need that much. So I go research in articles, or I analyze books. I do the other aspects of writing which don't need inspiration. And then after writing, I typically do that for like 2 hours in the morning, and then I carry on with some of my other works like baking, for example. And then I have to go off to my gymnastics class, which lasts about till 5:30. Then after that, I do a little more of writing. If I get any inspiration, I work on the SWOT prompt which I left off, or I complete the course for the day, and then it's mostly free time after that. In the night, if I want to, I'll complete a bit more of the prompt. So usually I finish off two prompts a day, mostly one, but yeah, that's typically how my day goes. Once again, I'll just write on the phone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, if you have more questions for Srishti or Jayashree, you can ask. Not just questions, any thoughts also. Yeah.
I have one more, unless somebody else has anything to ask. Okay. Srishti, do you ever get bored of doing this? Like, does it come to you that, oh, okay, this is what I was doing, and now I'm kind of bored with my writing. Maybe swimming was more interesting, something like that. I don't know. Like, does it come to you that something like that, or how do you find that determination? Oh, it's just today. Today's just a bad day. Let me just hang in there and keep writing. How do you find that motivation?
uh, Sometimes if a prompt is particularly frustrating, or if I don't get any inspiration for a couple of days, of course I'll feel like, why am I even doing this? It's such a waste of time. But I feel like what helps me is that I sometimes I take a cold turkey break, like completely off for one day, if I feel like I'm getting frustrated with my writing. Because there's no use in doing it when you're frustrated. It doesn't help you in any way. So I take a break and then I come back the next day. Then I look at maybe if the SWOT prompt for the day is not enough, or if my own thoughts are not enough. There's so many resources everywhere. I look at the internet, maybe I reread my favorite book, and then I might get some inspiration for writing, and I start again. So yeah, taking a breaks when I get really frustrated is what helps me.
Srishti, I have one question. Hello, I'm audible?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I got the font correctly. Is it like you're studying along with that you're continuing this? It's like a hobby or taken up this writing skill, or how is it?
Sorry,
Or
I can't hear you. Your voice is breaking. Could you repeat it?
Yeah. Are you studying your regular stuff of education, and along with that you have taken up this writing as a skill, as a
As in
hobby?
like syllabus, like textbook syllabus?
Yeah, I mean regular.
What he's trying to ask is it like a hobby, or or is it like in open learning you're focusing on certain things? That's what he's asking.
No, as of now, I want to make it into a career. I'm searching for career options, but I'm also studying right now because one of my other interests, as I said, is gymnastics. So if I want to take up a career in that related to sports, I need to have a 10th pass for that alone. So that's the reason I'm doing my syllabus as of now. But I also want to continue writing as a career.
Okay, anybody else has more questions? Otherwise, what I can do is I would like to a little talk about CoVersity in general, take you maybe through about a 10-minute quick sharing on CoVersity, and then we can have a little more discussion about CoVersity. And in that, Srishti can share her experiences, and Srishti and Jayashree, and there are others who can also share their experience, if that is okay. But if you have a question to Srishti, you can ask later also or now also, either ways.
I had one more. Looks like I'm the only one asking questions. I had one more question. Srishti, is there like a book club that you run? Something. So, okay, let me. So, is there like a book club that you run or anything where? So, I'm also. My name is Rajita, and I'm from Mumbai. Along with few other, like-minded people, we run an open learning center here in Mumbai. And there are quite a few kids who are interested in reading. So is this something that we can think about? Is something that that thought just came to my mind, that when you said about analysis and review of books, there are kids who are 12, 13, 14, and would like to, sort of
Sure. I don't have anything like that as of now, but it'll be very interesting because I have been looking for people to analyze and review books too. It'll be very interesting. Yeah.
Okay. So should I just leave my email address in the chat? Will you just contact me later? Okay.
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you. That's all from my side. Good. Good.
Okay.
Pinky, आपको कुछ पूछना था क्या? Pinky?
Sorry.
No.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll go ahead and take the opportunity to jump on to the CoVersity small presentation about CoVersity, and then we can have more questions about it. So every week we have one CoVersity member sharing their journey. If you look up the previous kind of video recordings, you will find that there are other people. Last week we had Krishiv, who is into designing. Previous to that, also we have Shreya, who is also into designing. And we also had Lakshita. I think before Krishiv, sorry, we had Lakshita, who is into filmmaking. And before that, we had Asavri, who was now doing her own business, and so on. So keep coming every Saturday. You will keep meeting different people who are doing their own journeys. What I wanted to quickly share was that what is this whole concept of CoVersity? What I'm showing you is the CoVersity website. I'm using the website so that you also know this is available on the website and you can read in more detail. I will obviously not focus on the text. So the primary idea of the CoVersity is to start with that, hey, I can live out of my interest or interests if I have multiple interests and go deep into them. That's the primary idea. And how do I go deep into them? Because I design my whole learning around it. And how do I design my whole learning is with others. So the idea of CoVersity is a co-versity, which means we get into a cohort, we get into a group, and the group learns together, does together. The group is not just the group of the people of the same interest, also other people who are also on a similar journey, but maybe in another interest. So there is my cohort, like for Srishti, that would be the writer's cohort, but she would also interact with other cohort members. Yeah. How does a typical journey go? Well, there are lots of things that they do. Some of the examples Srishti was giving, projects. They also do a lot of deliberate practice, is what we call it. They also do work outside for people and for companies or clients. They may even get paid for it, and so on. And yes, they create their own portfolio wealth, which becomes their main way of showing to the world that this is the work we have done. We call it work certification. What does CoVersity offer as a journey is that in some ways you create your own profession in the area that you are interested in. If you're not sure of which area you are interested in, you obviously find your areas by deep diving first in one interest and then in another interest, and finally realizing which one really fits into your. We also say the important aspect is self-certification, which means my work certifies me. I don't really need the world to certify me. Yeah. And finally, there is always the community with me, which means there are guides, there are mentors, there are people who support me, and so on. So I'm not kind of alone in this journey. Obviously, the bigger fun comes from the cohort, because the cohort really supports my journey. So let me a little more talk about this whole thing about the cohort. So what really happens in a cohort is in this snapshot little visual that you can see. Obviously, the details are more on the website. Is that you get into interest-based cohorts, plus there are other cohorts similar to yours in different fields. And yeah, there's a lot of action that happens, a lot of different work that happen. Each one decided by the cohort itself. So it's not that somebody else is telling you what you should do, but the cohort sits together, co-creates. Hey, we want to do a magazine like Srishti was talking about. We want to write a novel or whatever, or we want to do some work for some client, or maybe we want to earn money by doing something for the world and getting paid for it, and so on. And there are certain tools that we use, like the roadmaps. We create a lot of work patterns for ourselves. We do deliberate practice. We understand how the world works, our industry works, and so on. But the focus is not just professional. The focus is also very, very much about me and various aspects of me. So there's one part which is professional me, but we also focus a lot on how I understand my relationship with my friends, with my parents, with everybody. Also, how I understand my own emotions, my beliefs, my visions, my aspirations, and obviously the physical me, which in Srishti case is not an issue. She's anyway a gymnast. So that's how all aspects of me I spend time on. So it's not just profession. There is no hurry to reach anywhere. And as I mentioned, there are lots of people to support. Obviously, I myself is self-driven. I am committed. I drive my own journey because it's my interest. It's my life kind of thing. So there's nobody really out there to push you, but you yourself. But then there is a cohort in which you live, and the cohort part is amazing because there's a lot of facilitation within the cohort, each member pushing, pulling, suggesting, helping, supporting each other. And finally, there are guides and mentors. Mentors would be industry experts, while guides are typically from the community, and plus the other members of the community who are there to support, right? Again, you can read more on the website. I also want to quickly run through the journey, how the CoVersity journey goes. There's one example which you can read on the website, but what I wanted to point out was that CoVersity typically would works in cycles, which means there's a 6-month cycle in which you choose one particular interest. Suppose Srishti chooses writing, somebody chooses designing, somebody chooses programming, somebody chooses a particular sport, and you are on campus with others and you work intensely in cohorts for about 8 to 10 weeks. Then you go off campus, which could be your hometown or any other place, to do internships and do other work experiences in the world. And then you come back to the campus to kind of review the 6-month cycle and also do a little more work with your cohort. So that's how a 6-month cycle works. We say typically you are part of a CoVersity minimum for a year. Maximum, we have no idea. You can be there for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, till you find value in whatever CoVersity is to offer you. So it's your journey. You decide how much you want to work. Just specifically mentioning, some people say, oh, but I don't know what is my interest. We say, great, that is amazing news, because that means you can start your journey by exploring one at a time and see which one really suits you. Because in fact, there's no hurry to know which is your one calling. No hurry. Explore different things. And as you explore different things, because you're exploring in depth, you get a lot of self-development, self-growth, not just of professional skills. Yes, you develop professional skills, which are mentioned. Some of them are mentioned here. But you also end up growing a lot of self skills. So the combination of professional and self skills get developed, which means that tomorrow, if I want to step into a new field, I can just go ahead and kind of smash it, as they call it, if I use their language. And obviously, there's a lot of self-development, my own leadership about myself, my relationships, my interdependence. In terms of outcomes, people doing CoVersity can end up being an entrepreneur or a freelancer, or look for employment in organizations, or just do it as a pursuit, not necessarily as a professional thing. Just for myself, I'm doing something deeply. So that option is obviously available. Yeah. So these are the kind of possibilities that are there. Again, you can read more about it. At the end, I just want to say that we believe that CoVersity is about deep flexibility to live out of your passion, because it is not bound by anybody. You are designing it, yet you are designing it with others. So there's a lot of leverage to that. It's also a lot about ownership. You bring your commitment, you bring your intensity. Like how I think Rajita was asking, do you feel bored? Yes, you will feel bored, and you will only push yourself as the primary, motivator of yourself. So that's the innovation, the intensity, and the commitment comes from self, because you are owning yourself in that sense. CoVersity is also about deep learning, and primarily happening because a lot of collaboration, a lot of teamwork, a lot of doing things together. And also whatever learning you are doing is experiential and contextual, as in you're doing it either, let's say, for the world, as in, or posting it for something, or doing it for a client, and so on. Finally, it's very rewarding because we think it's very efficient way to develop one's profession, because you are choosing to do what you want to do. So you develop into that profession quickly. And as I think somebody mentioned, you kind of work ready, you are ready for the world. You are able to develop yourself and be professionally trained in whatever time you want to do that. Yeah. So I think that's briefly. There is much more on the website. There is also a boot camp that we are organizing, which is a 1-week camp for people where they can experience this CoVersity style in. There's one week camp in March, one in April, and one in June, where you will enjoy working as a CoVersity for a week, or rather experience. We don't know whether you'll enjoy or not, but you will experience it. So this is obviously, all of this is for 14 to 21 years age group. Yeah, so that's CoVersity. I will share the website link also. Just wanted to show you that this is what we have kind of worked on, or created, or not created. We have kind of worked on as a group over the last 6 to 8 months, and we are opening it to anybody who is between this age group, 14 to 21. So if we need your support. If you know people, if you have children, you can pass it on to them. They can look up the website and see whether this is what they want to do, or explore, at least, even if they don't want to do this. Also, you can pass it on to people who are in that age group amongst your friends and relatives, if they want to look at this as a way to design their own, journey. So it's like the professional journey part of the open learning, if I may put it that way. Yep. Sorry, that was a lot of talking by me. Any questions you can ask about CoVersity? I can answer. Preeti is there, she can answer. Srishti is there, Jayashree is there. We can share.
Sorry, she will join back in some time.
Sure, no problem.
So hi Ratnesh, this is Lipsa here.
Yeah.
I'm joining this meeting for the first time, although I've been part of the group for some time now. So I just started following Aarohi recently. So my question might be, I mean, many of people might already be knowing the answers, but yeah, I'll leave one question from my side. So when we talk about CoVersity and we are talking about deep diving into one's interest, right? So when you say it is from 14 years onwards, right? So is there a particular reason why you have taken it up from 14 years, and why can't we look at children who are younger to it also, to look at different, different aspects go deep dive into it and to see that if that is their calling, maybe?
Yeah, there are many reasons for that, not just one reason, but one of the main reason is that I don't know if you were there at the beginning, we showed a little progression as we see it. Very young children start with what we call as exposure. Then as they grow a little older, they go into exploring different interest areas. And as they grow a little older, which is possibly the age of 14 to 21, around that time, they could be little earlier, little later, but mostly around that time, they want to go real deep into one area or one or two areas. So that's in general, you can say, call it a broad age progression, right? Nothing wrong with getting into one area much earlier than that. There is no issue with that at all. And somebody can say that I at 7 want to be a singer, or at 8 want to be a dancer. There's absolutely nothing wrong or right about it. So in our ways, that age, deep diving can also happen. We felt that this is the kind of age group where we would like to start with, and then see how it evolves, where the younger children can get into. Also, please keep in mind, another reason is that they do a lot of industry work, as in they go out, they meet people, they do people. So it's not just, so now that aspect of traveling out, doing work, even earning, the design team has done multiple projects where they've earned out of those projects. So they have clients and all of that. So, all of that requires obviously going out. But certain fields, one can deep dive as early as whatever. And there's absolutely great that if somebody wants to do it at that age. So yeah, that's broadly where we have started. Whether we will stick with this age, whether it will change, evolve, we don't know. It's an evolving journey for us also.
Okay. So more on the early age, you are saying on that exploring part. So does Aarohi also help, the child and the parents as well to explore more avenues?
Yeah, that is what Aarohi is. It's an open learning community. So children in families in Aarohi are from all ages. So, for example, Preeti's daughter is, Preeti, how old is Mishti now? 10. 10. And Dviji's daughter is 13, and so on. So there are people from 4 years, 6 years, 8 years, any age, and they're exploring multiple things. We have right now people at Aarohi campus who are, the youngest is I think 3 or 4, and the oldest is me. So we are all learning a lot of different things, a lot of exploring, a lot of different things. So yes, the Aarohi as a community is not about this age group. Within that, Aarohi has come up with this CoVersity concept. So at 5 to 6, we were talking about actually that, that open learning journey. Yeah.
Okay. My apologies. I think I couldn't log in a little bit earlier, so I think I missed out on the initial part. So, looking forward to more Saturday meetings to get a little bit more idea on this journey and learn for myself and for my family too. Yeah, but thanks for getting this kind of a forum on.
Sure.
Yeah.
And we meet every Saturday, and more than 100 recordings are there on our website and YouTube. So you can look up every single Saturday. Last 3 years, we have been doing this. So yeah, lots. And any age, all ages. As I said, I'm also an open learner. So if I may be considered as as one child who is learning.
Excuse me.
Ratnesh, I was just about to type that, and you said that. You can see our learning journey as we have progressed through this 150, almost 150, installments of small. So yeah, totally.
Thanks, Vijay.
Hi, Ratnesh. This is Sujaya.
Yes, Sujaya.
Hi. Is this CoVersity? I missed the beginning, so I just wanted to clarify. Would CoVersity be based out of one city, which is Bangalore right now, or will it be in multiple cities where the kids are based?
Okay, so here is our idea. Right now, it is this CoVersity is Aarohi's CoVersity, right? Our idea is that there should be CoVersities all across the country. It started by different people. So I'm hoping Rajita and Pinky will start a Mumbai CoVersity very soon. And I like your smiles now.
Sadhana.
So yes,
Sadhana
Sadhana CoVersity. So the idea is not that we need to do all these Cohorts. So Aarohi has started. Aarohi campus is located near Bangalore. It's in Tamil Nadu, but it's near Bangalore. So yes, our CoVersity effort will be focused on out of our campus because that's the physical space we have. But we are hoping more and more people will, in due course of time, more and more organizations or groups of people will start CoVersities anywhere and everywhere, because all it needs is a space where people can come together and kind of jam together and create their own journeys together. So that's all it needs. It just needs a space and an initiative for the community to get together, the families to get together. But right now, yes, as Aarohi's CoVersities, it's only limited here. So we don't even want to hold on to the word CoVersity. We thought it's a nice word and everybody can use that as a generic term to spread this whole idea of charting and leading your own journey, own professional and own growth journey. So that's the thought, and that's the plan.
Thank you. Thanks, Ratnesh. One more question, Ratnesh.
Sure.
In case there's a child who is still unsure about what kind of focus to look, any kind of line or a passion to be to finalize on. So can they keep on working with different streams till they figure it out? That could take a long time, etc. How does that whole process happen? If somebody is unsure and comes to CoVersity and says, I'm not sure what I'm interested in.
Right. So this is the visual I had shared, which kind of sums up what you are talking about. So we say there are three categories. One is people who know what is their key interest and have already been working on it. Or there could be people who think this is their key interest, but haven't really worked too much on it. Or the third category who are totally unsure as to which is their key interest. And I would say personally, the third category is the most blessed because they can go ahead and start exploring lots before. So one of the core things that we hold in open learning is that there is no hurry. We are not trying to reach anywhere. We are only going around the sun every year. That's the only guaranteed thing. Everything else is life, right? So there's no hurry to reach anywhere. Please explore what you want to explore as much as you want to explore and see where you want to go. So the driver is the child, the journey is child's, the destinations are child's, so there is no hurry. What we have seen happens is when one invests in any one interest for a significant amount of time deeply, especially with a cohort, then one develops oneself so much that one is ready to just snap and now get into any other field, whichever one decides. So I'll give you another example, whom you will meet in due course in one of the Saturdays. His name is Advik. He has done into finance. Okay. Although he did it all by himself, not as a cohort, but he got into stock market at the age of 13 and now he's 15. So he spent about 2 years in stock market and now he's saying Tata bye-bye to stock market because he wants to explore other things. But in 2 years, he has become literally a stockbroker. Now, if one can develop that kind of a depth in 2 years, now he's ready for any other field, which is why it doesn't matter that he's saying bye-bye to finance after 2 years. You would say, man, he's the next financial, whatever, what is it called? Bull in the market. But no, he's given up. Tycoon. But he has given it off. He's not any more interested. He says, I want to explore other areas. And isn't that amazing? Isn't that something we should be, at least I am in awe of. Wow, you can do that, man. So at 15 now or 16, I think he's reached 16. He's now exploring, but I'm sure now for him to know that I can learn something, do something, create something is is much, much simpler because he has walked it already. So if a child is changing interests, that's good news because the child is still developing. Right? That's the big one. Incidentally, I also mentioned about my son who only plays football, and a lot of people ask me, but what about his earning later on? I said, if somebody can go deep into football the way he does it, then tomorrow he steps out of football and steps into anything. I know he can go deep into whatever he wants to go deep into. Right? If he can get up at 4:30 in the morning and slog the whole day for football, he can slog for any other field. He's ready. He's ready for whichever field he chooses later on if he doesn't choose football. I hope you're with me. So that's the way we look at open learners, and that's the way we look at life, and we want to live life, not get into this, let's earn, let's do this, let's do that. All those agendas can wait because I am the agenda that I'm living. Did I answer your question? I don't know, sorry. Preeti, you wanted to add something, go ahead.
Yes. In addition to Sujaya's first question about the location part, to start with, just adding on, as of now, like what Ratnesha said, that yes, we want to have across India lots of universities. So as of now, if anybody across the country wants to start the CoVersity thing and or maybe join CoVersity, then as of now, a 6 months program is scheduled and it is there on the
6
website.
days, sorry. You said 6 months, 6 days first. The
6
boot
days
camp,
is
you're
boot
saying.
camp, yeah.
Yeah.
And then 6 months ka cycle that we talk about, the journey of a member, CoVersity member. So you can check the website. There is a 6 months ka cycle and then another 6 month cycle. So how it happens is there on the website. You can check that and come to know about the location part to start with. Maybe later when we have more CoVersities across the country, then anywhere anybody can do it.
Yeah, and ours is a stay campus, as in people who will join the CoVersity will stay for about 3 months here, then go back and do an internship for 1 to 2 months, and then come back again for 1 month. So that's a 6-month cycle, and they will minimum do 2 cycles. And as I said, there is no maximum, they can keep doing it. So it's a residential space. We all live together and do a lot of intense work apart from a lot of fun, the way Srishti was mentioning.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for telling me this. Actually, I'll go to the website and take a look at and read about the 6 months program. It may help me evaluate.
It's not a 6 months program. I'm just clarifying. It's a
6 month cycle.
6 month cycle. Minimum is 1 year, and there is no maximum. You can keep on doing those 6 month cycles literally endlessly till you want to, and you can do it in the same cohort or keep changing it. But minimum is 1 year. We think that at least two cycles one should experience, then only one has really invested oneself into this whole concept.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, Sunil.
Yeah. Hello, sir. Sir, as per the conversation what I had through WhatsApp, I was told that if somebody needs to visit the campus Aarohi, it's only on Thursdays. So is it still the same, or
yes, it is still the same. Absolutely. Just go to the website, both for day visit and stay visit. All the details are there. Yeah, website is totally up to date in that sense.
Okay.
Yeah. Any more questions or thoughts? Otherwise, we can call it a day today and we can come back the next Saturday. Srishti is still around if you want to ask her anything. Jayashri and Srishti are still around.
One last question, sir, from my side.
Not back.
Okay, Jayashri is not there. Only Srishti is there. Yeah. Thanks, Srishti. Yes, Sunil.
Yeah. So, sir, instead of planning for a whole day, if I need to just visit the campus and have a look around it, in a couple of hours, if I want to
Yeah,
visit,
please. No. Sorry. Please see the website. All the details are there. We have no other exceptions. That is the only options available.
Okay.
You will have to follow that. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, so we are almost at 7. So let's pause this for today. And so we'll be back again 5 to 6 next Saturday discussing open learning. So people who wanted to discuss more about open learning, most welcome next Saturday at 5 o'clock. We'll have another guest in CoVersity at 6 o'clock. So again, if you want to explore and meet more CoVersity members as well as talk about CoVersity, we'll be there at 6. We are also adding one more CoVersity discussion session. So there is a WhatsApp group. You can join that WhatsApp group, and we'll be having one more meetup on CoVersity for people who are really serious about CoVersity on Thursdays, 7 to 8. So if anybody is interested, connect with us. The link will be the same as this one, but this will be Thursday, 7 to 8. And that will be totally, there won't be any guest in that, but that will be totally focused on finer details of CoVersity after you have gone through the website. Yeah. Pranav, you wanted to say something.
In fact, I had a question for Srishti. Is there a time to ask?
You have 2 minutes, Srishti. Can Pranav
Srishti,
uncle
can
ask
I
you a
ask you
question?
Yeah.
So, Srishti, in this cohort of CoVersity that you are into, I just want to know what is the attitude as
Sorry,
a
there's
group?
a lot of background noise. I can't really hear
I
what.
will join. The thing is, in this CoVersity, when you all are together, or when you are together, what kind of feeling was it? Was it more of a competitive, or was it more of collaborative? As in, like in current times, we see more of, one against another, or, I have to be the number one. So how is it different from
Are you saying like
that?
inside the writing cohort or like
Inside the
all the
CoVersity,
cohorts
cohort,
together?
as a
No,
cohort
there
as a
was
group,
there was absolutely no feeling of competition. I mean, like we both had different. First thing, we both had different ideas on what we wanted to do in writing. So there was no like comparison or anything. Yeah, it was more like friendship. There was like absolutely no competition. We just helped each other. We took feedback. It was like best friends just having the same interest. So like best friends, but like deeper.
And with others in the CoVersity, other cohorts?
No, there's like no criteria for competition. It's not like we're all going to go write some exam or something. So there's like absolutely no criteria for competition. There's no need for competition as well. It's not like we're all constantly trying to one up another and be like, I am the best here, you're the best. You're not like that. It was more like a group of friends just getting together and helping each other in whatever the way they can.
And the problem is, Pranav, they used to have too much fun. I was like totally jay with them, right? Till late night, they called it photosynthesis. They will work till late night and they will call it photosynthesis of all names. And then they will get up early morning and again work. And they were having so much
We
fun.
literally couldn't stop working because it was so fun working together. We didn't want to stop.
No, I just wanted to get an idea of this culture, as in the culture of open learning, where it is more collaborative, supportive, pushing, helping each other than to actually compete each other. That's the beauty of this journey. One of the beauties.
Thank you, Srishti.
Yeah,
Thank you, Pranav. And thank you, everybody, signing out for today. And we'll be back next Saturday. Any questions, please ping us on WhatsApp or phone numbers. Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.